Hey folks, Crazy Climber 80 here again, and this time we're going to look at game number 15 in our 20 from 1992 series, and this game is based on a media series originally created by Hasbro in the 60s, and this is called G.I. Joe. Yep, the same franchise that spawned a cartoon series in the 1980s and comic books in the early 1980s. And yeah, I definitely remember the cartoon. It was on a lot. I kind of enjoyed it. It got silly because I was in junior high and going into high school at around that time, and it was starting to get a little silly and corny, but still enjoyable. 80s kids will definitely remember the TV series. It spawned a number of other series reboots. I particularly liked G.I. Joe Renegades in the, was it 2010 or something? Didn't really like the cartoon style or the artwork, but the stories were extremely well written. And yeah, we just saw Cobra Commander, one of the more iconic villains of 80s cartoon lore. And of course, the voice actor was also Starscream. Enjoy my crutch. But yeah, definitely fans of the cartoon, comic series, and or the toys will definitely eat this game up. It's great fun. This is unlike a lot of Konami games at the times. This is not a beat 'em up. This is a third-person rail shooter with 3D scrolling, with sprite scaling, and it looks very good. It's kind of similar in ways to Konami's earlier Devastators, but this is much better. The characters that you can choose from, and you can play up to 4 players simultaneous play, are Duke, Snake Eyes, Scarlett, and Roadblock. And really, there is no advantage from choosing one character over another, as far as I can tell. But you move with the joystick, the crosshairs around the screen, and you can move your character left and right, and you can move them up a little bit on the screen, not very far forward. And you have a button that fires your pistol or whatever weapon you're armed with, and you have a button that can fire missiles, but you need to collect the missile icons first before you can fire the missiles, and they fire a nice devastating blast that can take out all enemies or vehicles within a certain radius. And there will be certain icons that you can blast out of certain objects, and they can give you rapid fire, so you can just hold down the fire button, and that will last until you take one hit. Keep that in mind. That's very important. You've got unlimited rapid fire until you take a hit, and you have a life bar, and once that is out, you will lose a life, and you only get 2 lives.
Yo!
I believe you have infinite continues. I believe. You know, as long as you keep popping in a credit. So we're going to get started. There are 3 missions, and they are very long. They have multiple parts to them. And you see the typical Cobra soldiers. You will take damage if you run into a soldier. You will take damage if you run into something in the way. You will take damage by getting shot. There will be enemy bullets, there will be rockets, there will be missiles. I think the rockets and missiles you can shoot in midair, but not the bullets. And, cancel them out. But like I said, not the bullets. And then, whoops, I kind of got clumsy here. See, you're at the bottom left, there is your score at the top. You also see the amount of lives you have left. And that includes the one that you've got right now, so there's only 2 lives. and then next to the life counter is your life bar. There will be some opportunities to refill that, but you need to keep blasting away those objects that are coming at you. There'll be like towers, maybe pipes, stuff like that. Not all of them will yield. Not all of them will yield icons that can help you. And there's some missiles, but a lot of them will. So it pays to destroy as much as you can. So for those that like to blow shit up, this game is for you. But yes, one icon that you can collect, and sometimes you'll be able to walk right into it, and sometimes you'll need to shoot the icon. One of them is extra missiles, one of them is rapid fire, and one of them is extra life back, extra energy. And your first bosses, or sub-bosses, are the twins, Tomax and Zaymot, and they pilot separate vehicles, and you need to take them both out. I do not remember this in arcades. I don't think I ever saw it, but it is a blast to play. If you like Cabal, an earlier game that's got some similarities to this, although it didn't have a scrolling screen. The action did not scroll. It otherwise feels very similar, and I like that one a lot too. But technically, this is much better. But there will be multiple different areas for you to pass on in each mission. Like I said, there are 3 of them. Yeah, blast whatever you can to get those icons. Like I said, you will have infinite rapid fire until you take a hit. There is no instant kill, as far as I know, in this game. You will take some damage, and then that is usually like, I think, 2 life bars that get taken off with a hit. There might be some instances, I can't remember for sure. Whoops, I lost a life. There might be some instances where a devastating hit might take off more than just 2 bars of life. I don't remember for sure. But you only have like 6 bars on your life bar. Yeah, touching any enemy will cause damage, which makes your characters kind of pussies. Yeah, a number of the characters from G.I. Joe will be bosses in this game. The heavy hitters like Destro, Cobra Commander, the Baroness. I think Major Blood is one of them, yeah. Watch out for those guys that have those laser guns. Their shots are very fast. And there will be one part of the mission where you're on an elevator, and as soon as they see you come up on the elevator, they fire. And it's really tough to be out of the way of that. Yeah, I really enjoy this. This is enjoying the cartoon series, at least to some degree, will definitely help your enjoyment of this game. But also, again, if you just like to blow shit up, this game is definitely for you. Well, I hope you have a great Mother's Day weekend. Hope you're planning to do something with your mom. My mom's still around, but she just recently sustained an injury, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to get together this weekend like we normally do.
Don't get me mad!
And this is the character Metalhead, and I don't really remember him. I guess I would have to watch some G.I. Joe cartoons again. But he will jump all around. He will hide. There is an instance, and it's kind of rare, where you're going to be able to uncover a med kit. And that med kit will restore only 2 bars of life, which sucks. Yeah, all the boss characters, you're just going to have to keep hitting them. I don't think all of them will flash red at some point, which shows how close they are to being killed. There will also be some vehicle bosses. Definitely utilize those missiles on bosses to make the fight end a lot quicker. Whoops, sorry about that. I have to use Bandicam because if I just excuse me, if I just use a file that I created in MAME, that's going to be way too big of a size, so I have to shrink it in Bandicam. Excuse me. I just got off of work and I was outside with. There's still pollen in the air even at night, and it plays havoc with my allergies. Now this is the area where you go up on the elevator, and like I said, there will be some of those guys with those laser guns, and they will want to shoot you right when they see the white of your eyes. Yeah, any big thing that you see on the screen, try to blow it up and get some of those icons. You will see the letter R on the icons that will give you rapid fire for as long as you don't get hit. And then the other red, white, and blue icons are extra missiles, and you can have a maximum of 9 at once. Excuse me. Yeah, if you get yourself pushed into a corner and the enemy is going to toss a bomb or a missile at you, you better get the hell out of the way. And far out of the way, because they have a radius that can take you out if you're fairly close, or cause damage. We're just playing with Duke right now, but we will see Snake Eyes and Scarlett and Roadblock a little bit later. All those characters appeared in, like I mentioned, the very good cartoon G.I. Joe Renegades. Like I said, I don't really care for the art style of that show, but the stories are extremely well written, and it's showtime. It's very fun, a very enjoyable show. This is the Baroness. She's one of the iconic, sexy villainesses of 80s cartoons. And she features in G.I. Joe Renegades as well. Her and Destro are romantically entangled. And we will see Destro as a boss later on. You will occasionally have to shoot at her vehicle, and occasionally she will make an appearance herself and take shots at you, and you will need to shoot her then. Hey, there's a rare energy restoration icon. Yeah, it's well worth blowing up as much stuff as you can to see if you can uncover more of those med kits or whatever they are. Excuse me. Sometimes the action slows down just a touch when there's a lot of sprites on the screen. And typical of, you know, games at this time. They were still trying to hammer out all the technical details. There's Baroness herself. Sometimes just when you think you've destroyed a vehicle or a boss or whatever, sit tight for just a second, because the boss might make another appearance or something right afterwards. Or they might hop up unharmed. And that's the end of Baroness.
Yo, Joe!
That was the iconic patriotic yell of the G.I. Joe team. Yo, Joe! The whole franchise began with the toy line back in like 1964 from Hasbro, and then the comic books were created in 1982, and then the cartoon series began in 1983. Or maybe it was a special or something, and then the cartoon series followed shortly after. Don't run into the trees, they'll hurt you. I think maybe those little bunker things will not hurt you if you run into them, but many other things will hurt you. Not the foliage. Excuse me. Yeah, you could blow up the trees. You friggin' anti-environmentalist. I got a little bit clumsy here on this stage. Oh well. I just wanted to show you what it looks like to play just single player. We will also, we will also play doubles with, I think it was Scarlett and Roadblock and Duke again with Snake Eyes. Put my initials here because I declined to continue, but I will show you a little footage of two-player team-ups, and then we'll look at the rest of the game, or most of the rest of the game. I won't do a full playthrough, even though I could probably fit it in under an hour. Excuse me. We'll just see important parts of the rest of the game after I play with a little bit of Duke and Snake Eyes. You hear Snake Eyes saying "Yo, Joe" when you start up, but he was mute in the cartoon series. He spoke as a youth in G.I. Joe Renegades, but we found out why he didn't speak after that. Got his throat cut. I don't know if that's what happened in the comic book or cartoon series. I don't remember. They might not have explained it in the 80s cartoon series. But again, you can either shoot the icons or walk through them. In some instances, they'll, like going up on the elevator, you have to shoot them in the air. I just wanted you to show what it looks like for each character to die or to play with teams of the characters. And from this point on, I'll play the rest of the game with Scarlett and Roadblock. A lot of guys that grew up in the 80s were hot for Cheetara from the Thundercats, but some of them were definitely into Scarlett, or perhaps Lady Jaye from G.I. Joe. We don't see Lady Jaye in this game. they're both standing together. I mapped the controls for both of them to be exactly the same, so they're just running together. It looks kind of funny. And this boss is Major Blood. It's spelled B-L-U-D-D. I think he's Australian. Some prominent characters that we don't see in this game, Dr. Mindbender, what was the guy that usurped Cobra Commander? For God's sake, I'm trying to blank. And we don't see Sergeant Slaughter in here. We don't have Bazooka. Isn't that his name, I think? We don't have Quick Kick. And we don't see Storm Shadow. That's kind of a disappointment. He was a big name villain from the series. That kind of looked a little goofy, the graphics there. Maybe that's just me, but it didn't look quite right. The rest of the game, I think Konami did a great job. Yeah, like I was saying before, Konami was big into the beat-em-ups, so this was kind of a rare departure for them to kind of go back to their Devastators type of gameplay. Yeah, they're laser guns with that typical cartoony sound. They are very fast. As you might have guessed, by this point I put in infinite energy. I just wanted to try to beat the game as quickly as it could. I didn't on the initial gameplay with just Duke. Or actually, while I was just showing earlier two-player simultaneous play. Just as G.I. Joe's war cry, Yo Joe, Cobra's is just simply Cobra. I wish that they could have gotten Chris Latta's voice for Cobra Commander in this game, because he was so iconic for Cobra Commander and Starscream. Just very, very unique. He was a comedian, very funny guy. He had some serious demons. Some people say he was a joy to work with, and some people it's just like, I don't know what that guy's problem was. But he had a lot of health issues and died pretty young. I think he was only in his 40s. But yeah, we're just going to see snippets of the remainder of the game. And the boss coming up here, I think, is Destro. Destro had a big chrome mask. He and Cobra Commander constantly butted heads. A lot of Cobra members disliked Cobra Commander. He was crazy. He was very, very immature and psychotic. But definitely a memorable 1980s cartoon villain. And there is Destro.
Won't get up after this one.
Yeah, they couldn't get any of the cartoon voices for this game, which is a shame. I mean, most of them I wouldn't have cared, but it would have been great to have Chris Latta as Cobra Commander. I went for karaoke one Halloween, excuse me, dressed as Cobra Commander. I still have that costume in my closet. And I was able to do the voice really well back then. I picked a song with S's in it, so it would hiss for HS. It was very funny. Note that we are in kind of a bog here, and there is a hydrofoil type of vehicle that has Destro in it. And it pops up every so often to chuck missiles or whatnot at you. I forgot to mention, yeah, there is another hydrofoil that will try to slam into you. There is another cheat that I put on for infinite missiles, just so, like I said before, I could try to hurry up the game quicker and the boss battles faster.
Yo, Joe! Goodbye, Joe.
Shipwreck, Tunnel Rat, Barbecue. There are a number of other Joes that figured a lot in the cartoons, comics. There's Cobra Commander. They did not appear in this game. Cobra Commander either had like a chrome type of mask, or he had that just simple head covering there.
The final battle.
Yeah, the graphics on that we just saw in that little cutscene aren't too bad for 1992. I don't think. They would, sprite scaling and 3D graphics, and especially polygons, would greatly improve in the arcades in the coming years. Oftentimes, if I have invincibility on, I won't try to avoid things all the time. We'll scoot forward here and reach this area right here, and then we get to go through. And are we gonna finally face Cobra Commander? There he is! Cobra Commander! That's the best I could do, sorry. He was just such an asshole. He was hilarious though. And he would never succeed in trying to conquer the world or get the better of the Joes. And he would often get ridiculed by Destro or sometimes other Cobra members. Cobra Commander has like a little jetpack or something on. He can create his own shield. He can create these flying spheres that will shoot lightning at you. Remember, like I was saying before, you can move your characters up and down a little bit, and you might be able to avoid some shots that way. That was a fake Cobra Commander.
Yo, Joe!
And we will see the real Cobra Commander right there. He has various explosives. Yeah, that is definitely not Chris Latta's voice. He was also kind of bumbling as or the character Starscream was also kind of bumbling. Yeah, same voice actor. They're kind of similar in ways. Although, of course, Starscream was a hell of a lot taller and more dangerous. Yeah, one of these days I'll have to watch the 80s cartoon again. Yeah, Flint doesn't appear in this either. Flint was a major character in G.I. Joe. Definitely not Chris Latta's voice. But he falls to his apparent demise. There was no other arcade G.I. Joe game that I know of. And there goes the Cobra floating platform. Or, I'm sure it had a name. I don't know what it is. And that is the end of G.I. Joe. Although you replay from the beginning after the credits finish rolling. Once you do the second playthrough, then you get a proper game over. I mean, you can run out of lives and not continue if you want on the second time through. But that is G.I. Joe, created by Konami, and originally created by Hasbro as a toy line in 1964. And again, the comic books came out in 1982, and then the cartoon series, or
Mission 1.
some iteration of it, started in 1983. And there was also an animated movie of the G.I. Joe cartoon series released later on. But that was game number 15, G.I. Joe, created by Konami and Hasbro. Hope y'all have a happy Mother's Day coming up. This is Crazy Clown Racing. Thanks for watching G.I. Joe by Konami, game number 1520 from 1992 series, and I hope you join me soon for game number 14. Bye-bye, folks.
Don't tell my heart, my achy, breaking heart.